I literally cut the recording because I was in the mindset of the 24-hour op to, like, divide the VODs, so that just means that there's going to be 2 VODs from this, which, oops, but whatever. Alright, so this will be round 2. Let me go ahead and pay out that prediction. Silly little mistake by me, and that was Fonz winning that out. Wow, over 100,000 channel points on the line there. And let's go ahead and shift things out for the next round. All right. Okay, getting everything set. And now Bloodwind has me checking something for it real quick. There we go. Okie dokie. So now we're just waiting for them to all fill in. I'm gonna handle a few signups real quick. Alright, cool. Actually, I will be back in 1 minute. Alright, there we go. Alright. Sides will flip, and we'll see how things go after that. Just trying to get everything all sorted here. Demondre, you're hoping for specialist. What, in the roster for the operation tomorrow? Why, what'd you get? No, you got it. I was originally going to give it to C, but you signed up for that, and C didn't specify, so I shifted it out. Oh, man, but I think that's what I'm going to do for some of the operations in my community is I'll just let people choose what they want to do on that update, because it just hit me that Killer Robot dropping that, you know, massive donation during the 24-hour op. He single-handedly funded the second half of everything I wanted to do for the July. stuff. So now we have a lot of additional options, and I don't know what to host when. And I was actually really surprised that a training op won for Wednesday, aka tomorrow. So for all the op slots I'm going to open up for the next few weeks, because, you know, some weekends I'm going to be busy on, you know, some days, but others I'm going to be totally free. I'm just going to put everything out on polls and let people choose, you know? And at that point, we'll go from there. So I need to have probably tonight a dev stream or two to get everything sorted, and we'll see how things go from there. Chat, do you want to make the Namalsk emission storm be bought with channel points? Ghost Wolf, we wouldn't do it with channel points. We would do it with frickin' for the 24 hour. You monster. No, people have way too many channel points, though. YouTube's doing good. I'm actually surprised, but you know, I'm happily surprised. But leave that to me. I'm just letting the viewers choose, you know, 2 different things about that. But we'll handle that another time. All right, let's get back into work mode here. I need to open... Actually, no, I think I know what the round is going to be. So anyway, this is going to be round 2 of High Command for week 3. So let me go ahead and throw the prediction up. And this is now going to be Nanard defending... Or Nanard attacking, excuse me, and Fonz is going to be defending. So, previous round, Fonz won as the attackers. He got a perfect score, took all 3 objectives. Scoring is Sector 2 is worth 4 points, Terminal 1 is worth 3 points, and Terminal 3 is worth 3 points for 10 points total. And... yeah, but Ghost Wolf, we don't want channel... If you make anything out of channel... We'll talk about it in DMs later. Let's focus on our stream at hand here before I have to start drinking. Regardless... Fonz now going to be defending with his team to see if he can prevent Nanard, who is now attacking, from getting a perfect score. If Nanard gets a perfect score, he will be able to tie out this week, but if he literally doesn't get one, Fonz will win the week out. Now, for the sake of the prediction betting, it's still going to be whoever is able to get 2 out of the 3 objectives, because, you know, you can either do it with, you know, 3 points and 3 points and 4 points, so 3 and 4 or 3 and 3 is still 6 or 7 to 3 or 4. So, best 2 out of 3 here. Let's just see what Nanard decides to do with his attack and how Fonz decides to defend. But that southern attack was really nice. The mortar use was really nice. We'll just have to see how things go. But either way, we'll wait till they get parsed through, and then we'll go over all the assets. Remember, Op 4 has a 12.7 anti-material rifle, a mortar, and then a choice between a BTR-80 or 2 BRDMs. Blue 4, they have sapper teams, AT mines, they have a 308 sniper of some sort, and then they've got, you know, that defensive advantage with the ability to fortify the zones. So we'll just have to see how things go. Either way, yeah, I mean, we do have a lot we need to dev stream. I need to draw some damn designs for Sixten to design a few things as well. I've been dragging my feet on that because I'm going to be honest, between that and then cleaning out the entire basement after cleaning out my mother's house and, you know, bringing all my valuables out of there to here, I've been busy. You know, add the fact that the 24-hour op required a lot of last-minute crunch time and then a lot of crunching on the fly. I'm just trying to stabilize myself, get my schedule sorted, and, well, there ain't no rest for the wee-woo. Lots to do. Very little time. But hey, we thrive under pressure, right? At least the garden's going okay. Can't wait to plant more. Waha. Losing my sanity a little bit, but hey, we'll see how things go. Ian, I'm pretty sure there's a mod for that, actually. I could have sworn I saw a mod out there on DayZ where the zombies will, like, throw rocks at you and stuff. So, we'll see how things go. 6 where I just hydrated, so you covered it for me. Alright, but, I mean, AO is pretty plain and dry. You just have to have Op 4 push in through the forested areas, get to the sector areas, take them. Blue 4 need to set up a good defensive perimeter, be ready to counterattack forces coming in. Whoever has the better information is going to pretty much win this fight. Oh, believe it or not, I do have a little bit of sanity. but, you know, it does get depleted quickly. Oh, boy. Let's see. Other quick announcements. We did have a training rotation conclude at the beginning of this month, so there were some prizes tied to training rotation for all the training ops with Rat Road, for example. So I believe the third place winners were Daz Daz and Empire. Second place winner was Mac Marine. First place winner was Sam. So what all of them won was the ability to, if they see an operation of mine and they see the time to schedule themselves to play, you know, to sign up, they can do that at any time from the announcement to when the op scheduling goes live ahead of everyone else. Third place, Empire and Daz Daz, they can do it once over the next 3 months. Mac Marine can do it twice. Samuel can do it twice, and he also gets a free op hosted by myself. He chose that option above either being automatically put on the next Zeus rotation docket, or I also gave him the opportunity to double his signups from 2 to 4. So he's given me information about hosting a stealth ODST Halo op. And I'm now going to work with him to get as many details as he wants to give me, and then get that up and running, probably not this weekend, but next weekend. Because I need to give him time for setting all that stuff up. Note, if I have free time, if you ever have Fridays or Saturdays free at 3, could tag along in our ops on the ground. I know I did one with the 31st Steel Legion a few months ago. I was just doing that to get, you know, a feel for how you guys did stuff on the ground, and that really helped with me setting up my Zeus ops for you guys, because, you know, right now we run a Zeus op for the 31st every month. It used to be twice every month. We've gone to once a month, and then, you know, in a month or two it'll go back to twice a month, but I digress. We'll see, Revy. I'm going to be, I mean, there's no easy way to say it. I'm going to be incredibly busy for the next few months between a bunch of IRL things and then getting all the ops I want scheduled in. And I mean, we just had a 24-hour thingy, and we're going to have another 24-hour thingy soon, so getting all that coordinated. Surprised we haven't pushed through yet. I'm running out of points to stall with. But anyway, for the training program, we're going to be doing 2 more Rat Road missions, and then I'm thinking of doing some specialized roles in the current Ukraine conflict. Because I want to play around with some artillery, some drones, some small-scale infantry, assault tactics, and maybe some vehicle support. So we'll see how things go from there. But this next training rotation should be interesting on that front, because I want to start pressing on small unit tactics, as well as communication. Communication definitely like the most important aspect of Arma 3 in my opinion, because you're always going to need that in the operation. So if I just make a lot of small groups communicate properly, that's where I think we're going to see a lot of success in training itself. I'm still working out ways to coordinate all of it, but I also want to see some really cool drone warfare. I'm dying for some good drone warfare, especially with jamming and then having an Op4 element. But I'm also debating having some potential Op4 slots. But anyway, let's go ahead and check out the map here and look at everything. So, Op4 going to be under Nanard now. I'm calling him Nanard on accident. Fonz commanding on the Blue 4 side. Let's go ahead and get everything written down here. So, again, the tasks are going to be Blue 4 holding 2 sectors and a terminal. Op 4 attacking both sectors and a terminal. The southernmost objective, Sector 2, is worth 4 points. Central Terminal 1 is worth 3 points. Sector 3 is worth 3 points as well. Otherwise, Blue 4, they have 3 star transport trucks, and they've got the choice between 2 unarmored MRAPs or 2 armed, slightly up-armored for the gun crew, M113s. Otherwise, mission details for them, we also have a render distance of 1,500 meters, 4 to 5 points at 175, which is a lot. And then the color of the fortification is going to be green, and the time limit is 55. Otherwise, Blue 4 weaponry is going to be, since they're based off of Polish forces, it's going to be ACRs with ACOGs. Potential to put ACOGs on their version of the PKP, which is like the UMP or something. It's not the UMP, that's a submachine gun. It's like UZK or something. I gotta get, if Charlotte's in here, I know she's Polish and military, but she would know what the damn gun is. SVD in play, and then their version of the RPG-7. And then, of course, there's the Star Transports. They have OPFOR, meanwhile, Belarusian Spetsnaz, so they got AK-12s with ACOGs. They've got their PKP, and SVD, modernized, of course. RPG-7 for their light anti-tank, and then their Maz is their medium anti-tank, because they have one, I guess. And then they also have a 12.7 KSVK anti-material rifle. They have 5 transport trucks, 2 Gaz transports, and then they have the choice between 2 BRDMs or a BTR-80. Other things to note that aren't on this roster here, Blue 4 has 2 Sapper teams, and they have a 308 Marksman. Those Sappers do have 18 mines as well, so you gotta look out for that. OPFOR, meanwhile, they do have a mortar with HE rounds, and then they also have that 12.7 sniper that we saw. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and go over the roster. So Nanard commanding OPFOR, Baku as his 2IC, Gerald leading Alpha 1 with Wojak, Brother Erectus, and Settler. Alpha 2 has Defoe, Jamera, and Audrey Sip. Roy DeCamper, oh, everyone just merged under Chekhov 2, so it's Bluck, Demovar, Zixme, Wonder, Emil, Revi, Cuboid, and Roy DeCamper. Lana 1 has Oddball leading Watts Twins and Whiteside. Ilana 2 has Dewitson, Killer J, and Morgan. Fendon has Wicked Quartz, Kriskovsky, and Skipu together. Fendon 2 has Templar, Rambo Bambo, Rocky 19, and Marty. Hotel 1 has NASA, Masano, and Lolo. And then Hashero 1 has Maxic alone. Blue 4, meanwhile, being commanded by Fonz, with Pierce leading Alpha as with T and Bursty under him. Alpha 2 has Henry, Nuzzy, and Snodge paired together. Bravo has Goose and Nolik together. Charlie 1 has Mac Marine, Sismo, Lolo, and Korvac together. Nemesis leading Echo 2 with Iander, Malincats, and Cullis. Foxtrot 1 has Twig King leading Crazy, Roderick, Kyle, Samuel, Kajonovich, and Orn. Orn being the one to watch. Got 6 kills last round. Let's see if he can get any more. Barros is part of the engineering team. He's in an engineer role right there, being led by Depso, and then Dennis might be another engineer. Looks like they're gravitating towards one of those M113s. Hotel 1 has Ash, Eric, and Tackleberry, and you can see that they have those engineer roles there as well. So those are our 2 Sapper teams for Blue 4. Trash, you can rant all you want about how ballistics works in the real world, but it's a video game, dude, and it works differently in the video game. I keep trying to tell you this, but you do you, buddy. I don't care. There are mods out there that do utilize the jamming scripts from Contact and deploy it on multiplayer. I'm actually going to feature some of them in the training. So we'll have a bit of fun with that, but we'll get there when we get there. Nonetheless, we've got OPFOR still organizing here. Blue 4, I'm waiting to see how they deploy their forces, but it looks like we have not only a bit of an even split, but some forces might actually go out and try to patrol the forest. Very risky to do that, because if they are caught out of position, they're either gonna get gunned down, or they'll be out of position for OPFOR to attack from a different flank, though. But we're going to hear those 113s driving around. BRDMs have been selected, though, so we'll have to see how those work out. And now we will just wait and see. I do love how they have the PID billboards here. We see that in OFCRA all the time, and it usually doesn't work. But I don't know. For HK, I remember last week had quite a few friendly fire. Not last week, last season had a few friendly fire instances. I haven't seen a big friendly fire instance in Season 2 yet. Well, 50 cal and 12.7, they have the same diameter, but one round is slightly longer. I can't remember if that's 12.7 or 50. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, we'll see the friendly fire soon, right? Looks like the round has officially begun. OPFOR immediately driving out. They got everyone loaded last second. BRDMs might be holding back. We've got Fedin taking one, and then the other is being taken by OPFOR Command. Meanwhile, Blue 4, we have Fonz in one of the 113s, and Golf 1 has the other. Ash has the Sapper team taking the truck out, and I assume these Sapper teams are going to go out and potentially start putting mines down in certain areas. Blue 4, though, putting forces all around, not leaving a lot on internal site defense, but I think Blue 4's strategy is going to be to try to find where OPFOR's main attack is coming from, and then adjust forces on the fly to assault it. That's a good strategy, unless OPFOR separates out too much. So we'll just have to see how things go. Yeah, so 12.7, funny enough, has, what is that, 9 millimeters up than 50 cal. Fair enough. I'm going to be honest, though, ballistically in Arma 3, 12.7 and 50 cal do the exact same damage. And if they don't, then it is very, very negligible. It's still a big round. It's going to cause, at the minimum, a few large velocity wounds. or evulsions. But if that's what it does, if that's what it doesn't do, it's going to just outright kill you. Again, when we're talking ballistics in Arma 3, it doesn't really matter. Because most weapons... The only difference I can think of for sniping with bigger rounds is it does take more weight, and there are settings that accommodate for that, but a lot of communities turn that down, and they also give groups SSWT kits or your weapon you can rest on something or bipod on something to negate sway entirely to stabilize your weapon. So honestly, the bigger caliber is going to give you more damage and range because you can fire it farther. But at that point, it's just skill level if someone can use that weapon at a greater range. But when you're talking only like 100 meters, bigger caliber is going to do more damage. Is that how the real world works? Absolutely not. There's other things to factor in, but this is a simulation video game. You gotta remember that, guys. Is video game. Accuracy isn't determined by caliber. Actually, no, how do I word this? In the real world, yes, you'd have a point, Trash. In Arma, literally, you just take your range card out, you then follow what the range card says, you adjust your scope accordingly, and then you take the shot. After accommodating for wind, of course, but you have another device for that. It's the same process whether or not you're going to fire a 7.62, a 300, a 338, or a 50, or a 12.7. Same exact process every single time. If you follow that process, you are going to get the kill every single time. There's no difference in caliber. There's no difference in accuracy. The only difference that could happen is based off of your barrel heat. 12.7 and 50 cal sniper rifles, like M107 or the M82, their weapons do heat up quicker with Ace if you turn on overheat. But there are very few communities out there that do that because it's a pain in the ass to manage. But just bring a canteen or a bottle of water and just pour it on the barrel and you're fine. Because I know that overheat does fuck with your accuracy. But raw Ace ballistics turned on, as long as you follow the frickin' range card you're given and you adjust your scope accordingly, you're fine. And then if you have like a Kestrel for wind, you just adjust for that. It's tedious, but some people like that. Usually I just turn all that shit off by turning Ace ballistics off because people are just here to, you know, do the shooty shoot with their gun. But hey, some communities I work for like that level of realism, and as their Zeus, I give it to them. But again, it doesn't matter in this game unless we set it to matter, but most people don't. Yes, and Trash, again, that doesn't apply in the video game. Ay. Things are just coded however they're coded. I still find it funny that I can take a P90, I can put an ACOG on it, I can put a suppressor on it, and I can accurately snipe people up to 350 meters with it, with its bullet drop. Oh, I love that thing. Literally turn it to a VSS if I wanted to, with more ammo. And more stopping power. I'm also the same chucklehead that takes an M249. I grab 60 round Stanag mags and I just do the op with those because it reloads quicker. Now, is that what you're supposed to do with a saw? No, you're supposed to take a 200 round or 100 round soft pack and you know, talking guns, cyclic fire, suppress. But the AI don't always respond to that, so you know, you just have fun. Literally turn that bitch into a marksman rifle with a 260 scope if you want. Why? Pfft, for funsies. This is a fucking video game. you want to go shoot real guns, go to a firing range. All right, BRDM's going up. I do appreciate that's in the front of their convoy to scout out. Blue 4, meanwhile, I'm a little worried with how divided their forces are, but at the same time, this is a really good strategy. If you can coordinate these elements to come in on the main attack and then flank it as it goes in, you deal a lot of attrition damage, and by then, you just pull all your forces back, hold defense, and your opponent doesn't have the numbers to overwhelm you. But it requires one hell of an amount of coordination to do something like that. And Fonz, I didn't see a lot of that coordination last round, but that also could just be circumstance, so let's see what he's able to pull off. Op 4 looks like they're just going to do a single flank push. I guess a single line push would be better. A flank implies that there's a force that could potentially go around, but at the same time, with the amount of forces here, you could see, you know, one group go direct, one group circle around, and then flank. A nice L-shaped attack could form, but again, really worried with how spread out Blue 4 is. This shows me that Op 4 might be able to actually get their foot into Sector 3, which is the best sector here out of all of them to defend because it has the most open areas around it, which is going to potentially force Blue 4 to try to hold Sector 2 last, and 2 is the worst because you have a lot of forested areas and concealment right on top of getting in this position, as well as you have on the north a drop-off. So the opponent can get right on top of the position, grenade it, satchel it. It's a really tough one. Hey, Andy, how you doing? All right, Blue 4 see this force coming up. Immediately, though, one of them gets wounded on literally every freaking limb. Now you got an SVD gunner, he gets a knockout there, takes some suppressive fire. Really dangerous spot to be in on top of this little mound head front, and he gets knocked out as he tries to pull back. So Bursty gets knocked out. We had an Op 4 member get knocked out, but he is brought back up. That was white side, and Blue 4 going to mount up in a truck and pull away, leaving that one guy. And we do see that L-shaped attack starting to form with that southern group coming in. Goose is going to try to run in Blue 4. We see the southern group potentially coming in as well. I don't really understand why we see a Blue 4 truck that's Foxtrot. So that's Twig King's group. They're going to try to mount up to do a flanking attack of some sort. I can predict that right now. Whether or not it's going to be effective is anyone's game. That might flank around north and try to get behind this Op 4 line. But look at Op 4's positioning. Main group in the middle, supported by a BRDM, 2 flanking attacks, and then a side BRDM afar, locking down open areas to the objectives. This is a really, really good offensive maneuver done by Nanard here. Goose with the sniper rifle at 12.7, a little too close for comfort with it. Because again, I called, they're going to be using these at 100 meters or so. Like, that's the maximum range. But all these guys have ACOGs, they can immediately turn and engage him. But he could just scout out. He's looking afar, not realizing there's a group right next to him. So that's tough. Meanwhile, you've got Alpha 1 trying to form a new defensive line. You've got the 113 with Kommand driving around back here. I'm not seeing a lot of reaction for Blue 4. We do see this team coming around to flank the side, but will it be enough and will it be in time? Because Op 4 seem to be moving quite well here. Goose on a kill. Misses that second shot because he was immediately taking fire, but that first drop, he was able to get a kill right there, and that was, I'm looking for the skull. We'll check. That's what I'm talking about. With that weapon, he just has to aim center mass on the chest, and he's going to get the kill. Because ballistics in a video game. All right, I'm done being nice. 1 second. All right. Goose now lining up here. Still that Blue 4 knockout on the back. Twig King's squad coming around the side. We see another team coming around on the right flank as well. Blue 4 Kommand has set up in the lumberyard. Trying to get some pickoffs. Taking some return fire. Immediately headshotted. Only a knockout, but that could be huge on Blue 4's ability to retaliate here if their ground commander is taken out. All right, Goose coming around the southern side. We got the 4 additional guys coming up. I'm a little worried about this truck. It could hone in to the mortar position that Hotel has set up. But with this big chunk of infantry coming in, I think Op4 might be able to overwhelm this position. We got the sniper right here. Very dangerous spot to be in, but his guys remaining mobile. We got Brother Erectus looking around. Might spot this one guy here. Oh, he spots him. Oh! Might not make it out, though. Panic fires. Rolls up to a tree. He's got a few guys behind him, but they're not going to get up here enough. Perfect grenade throw right into Goose's face. He gets blown in the back. Absolutely beautiful. Because, again, you line up an anti-material round and some guy point blank, it's going to blow him away like that. Mortars firing. Blue 4 coming up on the northern side. Oh, that was beautiful. Goose on 2 kills, though. Again, as long as you have a positive KD in a platoon versus a platoon fight, that can make all the difference. But look at where Blue 4 is right now. They're going to be putting a defensive ridge on the final sector here. Oh, this plan really does rely on the back attack from Foxtrot 1, but at the same time, Op4 has such the number that they could turn around and deal with it and just piecemeal what remains of Blue 4's forces, but they're going to take out the mortar easily. What I'm curious about is if they kill the mortar off and steal it, could they put mortar rounds into where Op4 is and completely turn the tide? BRDM firing at the 113. Little bit of red on red here. I think the squad leader is immediately trying to call that up. We have some more red on red here. Both BTRs gunning down their own forces. Could this be our first major red on red incident of HK Season 2? That's a shame because they could have taken that 113. It was only a knockout though, so a little bit of a missed PID from ground command. Baku on a -1, though, which means he's gotten a friendly fire kill and a knockout. That's unfortunate. Now we've got some Blue 4 counterattacking where they took out Goose, and the rest of Blue 4 pursuing where that mortar gunner is, but they are keeping in step. So at this rate, Op4 is going to be able to get on top of this sector here. T with that machine gun, though. He's got a... Was that an Elkin scope? Eklund, Elkin, I use those interchangeably. Worried about him getting suppressed out from the BRDM, so we do have the 113's gun being taken, though, and it is suppressing that area. We have Pierce counterattacking on his own. Okay. I think he's trying to drive it up here for his guys there, but mortar reset. Blue 4 right behind him. They're trying to find a good position for it. Blue 4 ready to jump it. T being suppressed, not going to be able to do much there. We see a small Blue 4 counterattack coming in. Will these counterattacks be enough, though? I'm not sure. They're going to have to do really, really well at this point. Oh, look at this. They just found the mortar. That hesitation by Roderick. He found the snipe. That's the marksman rifle. That's... Wait, how did Goose get the 12.7 then? Interesting. Nonetheless, that was a great one-tap, and now they have access to the mortar. The question is, are they going to use it on the lumber mill? Meanwhile, the 4-man flanking attack has come in. Yeah, let me look at something real quick. So that has that. So that isn't that same weapon, though, but let me look at Goose real quick. Goose, I don't know how Goose got his hands on the Op4 12.7 then. The KSVK. It's hard to see through the grass, but you see that back magazine back there, so I don't know. That's crazy. Otherwise, Op4 now attempting to maneuver on the zone. Look at how Blue 4 is literally putting all in on trying to surround Op4. that is the #1 winning strategy here in an event like this, where you just literally try to surround and piecemeal Op4. I think Blue 4 is in a really good spot to win the round. They might not win Sector 3 as Op4 transitions in, but there's so much around that I think Op4 is in a bit of a pickle. It's going to really rely on individual players to stop the attack. You got 5 knocked out Blue 4 up here. Zixmi racking up knockouts here. Not getting the double taps. We do have Kyle the medic nearby, though, to negate all that. RPG comes in. Minimally effective. Orin, who got 6 kills last round, trying to hold out. 113's up here confusing this Blue 4 group. Orin gets knocked out. That entire southern attack wave has been knocked out. Are you kidding? Wait. Who's uncon in here? Pierce? How did Pierce get knocked out? So these guys are down because they're working on casualties. Blue 4 trying to send more forces around on the western attack. And they are picking up a few kills. That is dividing some of the Op4 elements over here, but look at Op4's infantry. Unable to now push in. They've got a defensive team on the lumber mill. They got a few guys trying to hold this western attack as it's being reinforced by a large group. BRDMs don't know where to line up to counter here. Looks like they're continuing to move ahead. They're being ineffective. And then you have Zixmi single-handedly holding this southern northeastern push by getting so many knockouts. He just got kill number 2. And then you got Roy in the middle of all of this, hiding out in this 113. Adrisip coming up. And I think he just got that kill, or someone else. No, it was parts of Alpha now surrounding that element and taking it out. So this counterattack not doing too well. Wow, Adrisip beating out a machine gun by Crazy. And then we see Kyle getting knocked out by the 50 cal as well. That is the entire northern group knocked out. Op4, meanwhile, pulling back to the lumber mill to hold a better defensive line against the group coming in from the west. This is still neck and neck at this point. Blue 4 have another nasty attack wave that could come in. Sector being taken by the BRDM inside. Will that vehicle stay in, though? They might lose it if they don't go back in a moment. Yeah, the BRDM is just harassing the vehicle down here. You see an Op4 guy has come up here. Somehow ended up doing a wall sit, fighting T with that Polish PKM, and he's just going to hold that corner. Op4's on offense, Blue 4's on defense. Little worried that this Blue 4 group might start trying to go through open area to attack Op4, who are defending from a fortified lumber mill. You got some shots coming from the flank. I might be red on red, though, because there isn't really anything over there that they could be engaging. Zixmi looks like he's double tapping bodies. And you got a BRDM now blitzing out here. Looks like that sector, they lost it, so they went back in and are starting to take it again. I think T could actually suppress the BRDM if he finds a good angle on it, but I think he's going to hold defensive instead. He's checking the body for ammo instead. Goose, you got an amazing shot point blank with that 12.7, though, and you still had a positive KD. Did you spawn with that KSVK, or did you find it in the field? Because I thought Op4 started with the KSVK, not Blue 4, with the sniper team. So let me know how you found that, but you still did well with it. So now you got Blue 4 putting pressure on the lumber mill from the north. That is keeping their attention away from Sector 3. And now Blue 4 is able to push some forces back. They could get on Baku's position. We do have 2 sappers right here that can go in and take it out. Spawn, Bravo, Marksman, that or SVD? Oh, okay. Honestly, I would take anything over an SVD. I hate that gun. 10 rounds, usually you're given a PSO scope with it. Ugh, disgusting. BRDM, meanwhile, in the south now harassing this engineer group as the other BRDM has come up. They are sandwiching these 3 infantrymen. And it's at an angle where they can continue to take Sector 3. Blue 4's gone all in on this attack on Op4 as they move in. But BRDMs could still bypass and hit the Sector 2 objective as well. We do have Cuboid. He's come around. He is attacking the northern part of Blue 4's attack. He gets knocked out by Nemesis, though. Nemesis going for some double tapping hits. Unlikely for Cuboid to wake back up now, but look at this massive concave attack that we're seeing on that lumber mill site. I find it funny, Op4, when they were on Blue 4, were holding this lumber mill and facing a similar attack. So some of those players might have been stuck there for both of those rounds. Meanwhile, Sector 3 officially taken. We have the engineers now putting pressure on this BRDM as it's turned around, but it's now going to get on the move as the engineers draw closer. They don't have any direct AT. They'd have to use explosive satchels to take it out. They might get spotted by the BRDM, though. BRDM spots one of them and engages. We just had an RPG fire in that disables the stolen 113 that Op4 took. It's now going to deploy smoke cover, but the BRDMs are now piecemealing some of these engineers. That is a grenade. It's going to bounce away, though. Twig King's group in Blue 4 got behind Op4 Hotel and took the mortar gunner out. They didn't take it and use it, though. Meanwhile, Henry getting a knockout on Audrey Step on the side. We still have Gerald and Settler on the side there, now starting to fire in. A little bit of some skirmishing on the side, but Op4 have lost the number advantage as we're going to start seeing some Blue 4 prod in. Some well-placed grenades, definitely going to knock out the remaining garrison we see here. We've got 3 knockouts on this section. More GLs going off. Some well-placed GLs also going to get some nasty multi-kills here. From the flank, we still have players like Orin alive. He got 6 kills last round. I want to see if he can rack up a similar number. And he does have AT, so that is a shock weapon. Could do a lot of damage to the remaining infantry here. So which Blue 4 member is going to be lucky enough to get into this zone and really rack up some kills here? These guys are too tightly packed. GL goes out, gets a knockout on Katz as he tried to move him through the open. Bit of a mistake to move through the open there, and he paid for it. Got some smokes now being popped. That's going to allow for Blue 4 to transition up here. We saw that there was an Op 4 member on the outside. He gets taken out by Orin on his second kill. Oh, now we've got Korvac racking up some kills here. Multiple knockouts. If he pulls out that RPG, he could get a really nice multi-kill there as well. Orin now following through, gets a few more knockouts here. Grenades being thrown far. Bounces a bit too far, though. Only does a bit of damage to Orin, who's on 3 kills now. BRDM circling around, but these guys are marked as AT members. Can we see a good AT shot here? Korvac with that RPG-7. BRDM's pushing to be aggressive. He has it out. He's going to try to find an angle through the bush. He has it. It slows down and he gets the hit. Minimal damage. I think he hit it with an HE shell instead of an AT, so that BRDM can get out scot-free. Oh, maybe some minor to moderate damage on the wheels, but not a killing blow. Honestly, if he had that, I don't know why he didn't open that up in the group right here to actually rack up a pretty massive multi-kill with that shot. But looking at the remaining Op 4, looks like the infantry have bailed out. We see a 1v1 engagement here as command elements are running around. Now they're lining up, and Henry gets tapped and double tapped by Op 4 command. Nanard could still wake back up. Grenade going out, though. That could double tap. That's in range. And there's the double tap. Meanwhile, Oddballs come out. He gets some knockouts on Orn, ending his spree, ending him with 3 kills there. Half of what he got last round, but 3 is still a pretty good number to have. Regardless, Command did bail out of that vehicle, so the turret might have been disabled. I know Pierce's group is still doing medical in that one vehicle. Blue 4 really spaced out here, but on a really great spread on the remaining Op 4 garrison. Op 4 have a lot of guys knocked out. They don't have any medics remaining, though, so they're probably not going to be able to get their wounded up. So whatever Blue 4 gets on knockout is going to stick for the rest of the round. Could see a BRDM try to rush into another objective at this rate. But we do have Blue 4 trying their best to counterattack what remains of Op 4. So round could still go any way. BRDMs might push out, still take a zone, or Blue 4 might be able to hold the rest of Op 4 in place here. At this point, it's not even at the Command's decision. It's just going to be whoever has the better PvP plays here. I think we've got Korvac trying to look in. RPG is empty. Doing one Op 4 guy by all the bodies here. I mean, that is such a mess. BRDM coming in at an angle down here. I think it's looking for additional Blue 4 players to potentially pick off. It's looking at these fortifications. Might be trying to find a line on Eric here. But it still looks pretty even. But Blue 4 only have a handful of guys that are about to be sandwiched by Op 4. as they try to reconsolidate their forces. This is definitely going to be a more interesting round in the late game here. Could still go either way. Lucky headshot there. Trying to get a click on him so I can see who... Oh, my God. By Oddball. Quarterback and Seasmo, the only two up, but now they're being pressured directly by Op4 Kommand. Both of them getting a little shot up here. Looks like that was in Korvac's plate carrier. We see some of his wounds on the ground, though. Meanwhile, the legs of Seasmo were knocked out. We have some smokes being thrown. Op4 potentially pushing infantry around to respond to that gunfire. We got... I don't know what the hell that was. I think they're hitting bodies right now. I thought that might have been some red on red. But we do have Nanard in a position to potentially get right behind these blue 4 elements and take them out. That is a smoke. I was about to say, that's a smoke grenade out, not deploying any smoke. I've never seen that before, but it was just a bit late. Meanwhile, we've got the BRDM crew. Wow. RPG fired out here on the defensive position here. We see some bullets also landing in that spot. So it is the BRDM trying to take out additional infantry just to see what they can pick off. You got T crawling away as well. He was that solo defender in the Sector 3 zone, and looks like he's now trying to maneuver around. A little bit of red on red there. They might have just fired out one of their ground command elements. That was the 2IC Baku. And you've got Op4 just slowly pushing up into the stone. Seasmo desyncing his way through. Nice little lag switch. Oh no! The lag switch went too hard and he died! And then Korvac gets spotted and taken out. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. I thought Seasmo successfully lag switched himself up there, but he got caught up and taken out. This is turning into pretty much a free-for-all. Op4 still has their commander up, so he might be able to have comms with a few squad leaders like Gerald. But, like, he's the only squad leader. I think Fedin also has their squad leader up. Oddball is also up, so he might still have some coordination with a few elements, but not all of them. Meanwhile, Blue 4, their commander's dead. Nemesis and Ash, I think, are the only two leadership elements still alive that can coordinate. So at this point, it's a free-for-all for them as well. Op4 could still bounce back. I think we could see a few guys go around and take Sector 2, meaning Op4 would win this round. But unless they take Terminal 1 as well for the week... it's still going to be a loss for the week for, Nanard. But I think he has grounds to tie up. But in terms of the betting, Op4 in a really good spot to win, because if they sneak 2 guys down to Sector 2, that's undefended. They get 2 of the zones, they win. No problem, Andy. This is one of those rare days where I'm really hyped up for some reason, but I haven't even had coffee. Just naturally coming out. Guess I'm well rested enough. BRDM taking pot shots out. They're suppressing windows. Some of these buildings, though, the windows are partially fake. But this is going to keep Blue 4 pinned down in this zone, allowing for these guys to come around. Now, we do have... Hold on. He's going to try to... You just threw an impact grenade at a BRDM point blank. What did you think would happen if you throw an impact RGO grenade point blank into something? It's called an impact grenade because when it impacts something, it blows up. So if you throw it at something point blank and it blows up and you are standing right in front of it, what did you think would happen? Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. Anyway. I sing horribly off tune, but my God, that's a Darwin Award right there. Here's the funny thing, though. Compared to what I've seen in the real world, that's totally believable. That's the worst part about it. I used to have something where, you know, there would be stupid, and then there's Arma PvP stupid, but now I can't say things are Arma PvP stupid because I've seen frickin' clips coming out of Ukraine, for example, and it's like, good fucking God. Poor guys don't really know what's going on. Great grenade throw, double taps Marty. I've noticed grenades in HK are really, really strong compared to FNF, which I think has nerfed them a bit. OFCRA also has nerfed their explosive damage, but HK grenades will get that knockout or that double tap, so... Grenades, definitely the thing to use in HK PvP. But look at that. Command has rallied 4 additional forces here. They brought a medic up, but it looks like they weren't able to save much people. Katz, though, coming from the north. He woke up. He was the guy that got knocked out with the GL in the open field here. But it's going to be a 1v6. But it's Katz. all of his limbs have been hit. You got blood on all 4. But, oh god, he's got a GL. And he has HE rounds. I just saw him load, yeah, he's got potential. Oh, no. Gets a drop on the first guy. A few double tapping shots. He gets the guy lagging behind. He's got that GL, though. He can just put a few shots in. He can put some additional double tapping shots. I think Blue 4 might be able to hold. These 2 men are going to be able to go and take Sector 2. But Blue 4, now we've got this main force. 3 people have turned around because that was one of their guys. Command going to be pushing up on their own, finding a defensive line here. A second kill by Cats. He's up to 3 total. It's a 1v2. More double tapping shots being dropped in. I'm surprised he's not using his GL to soften him up. He's a Scandi Recon member. When these people are alone and put in a flanking position to an enemy force, they work wonders. He's now going to bypass the other 2. Meanwhile, oh! He gets tapped, I think, by Revy. That was an SVD shot. Really great single shot drop there, but he's done the damage because Ground Command and his 2 IC for Op4 have been taken out and knocked out. And that has turned that 6-man team into a 2-man team, and Cats wakes back up. He feels no pain. He's looking around, wondering where that came from. He sees that SVD gunner. SVD gunner misses all shots. He pulls the GL out. Is he going to noob tube him? He's looking. Noob tube goes out too far to the left. I don't know if it ricocheted off or he missed, but he's now blindly suppressing. I think he doesn't know exactly where that DMR is. But Revy is now flanking around on the left. That's forcing Cats to do a little bit of medical before he bleeds out. Demovar too far to the north to circle around. Meanwhile, you got Blue 4 bypassing where Command's body is, so they're going to be moving up. These guys are all on the same team, though, so they're able to coordinate with Cats. They might push for a bit of a counterattack. Oh, Revy finds him again! This time he's putting some double tap shots in, and he gets the headshot on Cats and kills him. Damage has been done, though. Op4 down to 4 people pushing on Terminal 1, but we have 2 people coming into Sector 2. I think Op4 are still going to win this unless we see a Blue 4 guy. Maybe the 113 will charge in at the end, but this could go either way. The SVD curse, you'll hit, but that's it. He's still got the double tap, though. But again, I'm serious when I say I hate the SVD for Arma 3 compared to every other gun. All right, we got some double tapping shots. That is Iander firing up at Fedin 1, which appears to have Rambo Bambo Rocky 19 and Wick Torts. But we do have Alpha 1 circling around that Geralt and Settler. They're going to get that for free unless there's explosive traps rigged here. And I see some... Oh, no. Oh, no. And those engineers are still alive. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, that sector might be defended. We might have to classify that as defended and call it a day. Nemesis and Malin, not sure how many numbers there are. They pull back to friendly territory. I respect that decision because they don't know if there's an entire squad still there and they don't want to be aggressive. And that's for Scandi to be doing that. That's nuts. Sector's being taken. Settler goes ahead of Gerald. I'm waiting to see. The funny thing is, if the explosives go off, Gerald can then walk in. I think he was specifically told, hey, wait out here in case it blows up. Gerald, come on. Don't. Because if you see this, you don't want to detonate it when you immediately see it. You want it to be like halfway to 3/4 of the way through to give your enemy a false sense of security so they push more people in, and then you click it off. But that's also if your freaking engineers are even paying attention. Or if they're actually... No, they are. Eric would still be in range to cook that off, but the question is, are these the engineers that set those explosives off? 45 seconds remaining. Will Op4 get away with it? Op4 sending some other guys around. I mean, this is going to turn into a 2-2-2 push from the west, north, and south. Excuse me, east, north, and south. Oh, no. I feel like it would have detonated by now, though. They wouldn't play it that close. But Gerald runs in! He's gonna be right on top of the other one! He dies. He dies if these go off. That's gonna take out that building and kill him. Gerald's gonna get killed off, but I think they're gonna get away with it. Oh, who is that explosive specialist that put these there? It had to have been Foxtrot one then. Which, to me, doesn't make sense because they were on the other side of the Yayo counterattacking, so why were they pushed up? I think Op4 won. Yep. Oh my god, if those were detonated, though, they would have gotten the kill, and Op4 would not have sent additional forces around, and that's... Wow. That was a suspenseful 90 seconds. Damn. Blue 4 lost because an engineer was either dead or sleeping. But again, why would you put explosives down if you're not going to be near those explosives at all times? That's what bugs me the most. All right, so we got red lead still up. We do have a medic here, Demovar, funny enough. I'm not sure if he checked the body. Revy, meanwhile, is pushed up on his own. This man, he's making the SVD look easy. Granted, he doesn't have that shitty PSO scope. He has an MOS because it's an MPZ-railed SVD, so that makes the SVD a bit more workable, in my opinion. You still have that god-awful crosshair, but you can hit the plus button and zoom in even more with it, but still. Damn. He could touch the terminal, though. Op4 now surrounding this position 3 ways. Op4 could still win this out, because every kill is going to matter at this point. I think it's like a 5v6 at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Ash. I'm gonna count. Yeah, 1, 2, 5. 5v6. Did Demovar got Nanard back up? I thought he missed him, but no, Nanard wakes back up. I assume Demovar put some medical in him or something. But it's a 7v5. Nanard is still up to coordinate. Who can he coordinate with? He's got Wiki Quartz on Fendon 1. And he's got Geralt on Alpha 1. He still has comms with the other 2 attack waves. He could coordinate a proper attack on this zone. And then he's got a Lone Wolf Revy in the sector here that's going to hit this terminal and immediately cause Blue 4 to collapse in. 2-minute hack. Oh my god. Meanwhile, Op4 get a kill on one of the Blue 4 guys on this side. That was probably Tackleberry with the explosive, but Blue 4 just tried to run in a few people. It is now 2-4, 5v3. That was an amazing... That's what I wanted to see in that southern sector. That's the worst part. RPG just went in, but it's a miss. Optic Killer... !HK in chat. That'll link you to the server. These guys play PvP every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 2 rounds. If you want other PvP communities, though, shoot me a message on Discord. I can hook you up. You can do !OFCRA or !FNF. Those communities play every Friday and Thursday. Are you trying to freaking noob tube them? That's amazing. Just short on that noob tube on Eric. Eric running up to try to get the sector there. Ash, meanwhile, I can't tell if he's AFK in here or not. He's just hiding in the driver. Oh, he's naked. Oh, okay. He might be doing something that's not Twitch appropriate. My bad. Hack ceased by Eric. We still have 21 minutes, though. 5v3 with 1 potential AFK. Settler running up. 3 kills on his SVD. He can check this vehicle, and if he can't get in it, then he knows that it's occupied. My question is, I don't think he's going to have an angle to climb up because of the up armor here. Got the tow rope out. Yeah, he's trying to figure out how to get in it. But it's going to be up to these remaining forces to get in. And now the 113 is going to start driving off. We hear more explosives going off. They literally rigged all of these buildings to blow. Good God. 113 pushing back in. Nanard got gunned down by someone. And the 113 is just driving around popping smoke. Geralt, Settler pushing in. We still have these 2 on this Overwatch position up here that they've been refusing to push in. They've stayed there this entire game. I'm going to be honest, if Geralt and Settler get taken out, I don't see much else of what's going to happen because Fedden's going to stay on Overwatch. You've got Tackle now trying to eliminate Demovar up here, who's now popping a smoke to conceal himself. And you got the corner camp by Eric here on the terminal. Now, I don't know if that timer is paused or reset. We'll know immediately if it pops up with 2 minutes or 47 seconds, but even then, I think the linchpin right now is whether or not Fedin decides to push in. They've been up here for too long. They haven't really seen anything. And even then, they've shown that they've been unable to stop Eric when he pushed in to stop the terminal, so they need to push. Either through the BRDM, but it looks damaged. They might have to push up through the forested route, but there's not much else that can be done. Demovar, meanwhile, pulling way back. Up for it by losing Nanard are now completely miscoordinated here, and that's just going to extend the time of the game. There's still 18 minutes left on it, though, so it's not going to be a game changer there on that time extension. Tackleberry taking some fire from Settler's marksman rifle. He pulls out of that window. More smoke's being deployed all over this area. That's going to force a CQC fight. And I think Fendon's giving up on this spot, and they're going to move in through the forested path. Good. Close in CQC. Tackleberry's doing the same. I'm a little worried about the angle here, because if that driver can't see where he's going, he could run that gunner over. Demondre, he technically could. I'm just not sure if that's against the rules or not. Pushing Settler. Look at how he's slightly opened this window so we can lock this position down. I think he's been noticed by Tackleberry, but the smoke is now feeding in. Tackleberry going to hone in on him. Gerald, meanwhile, pushing around. I thought I saw some shots go off. Oh, he just missed the mag dump with the SVD. A little bit of blue on blue by Eric, but he gets dropped by a grenade. Settler, I think, gets him in martyrdom. Gerald going to potentially bypass. You hear the ramp going off. I have no idea where Demovar is going, but at this point, Op4 could potentially get defeated in detail here, but it's so hard to see where this might go. Terminal's right there. He lost his smoke cover. Is he going to go for it? He has to at this point. Touch it. At this point, you have to touch it and play the objective, because you don't know when backup's coming. Rambo has run all the way up here, so Fedin's coming in. Demovar's going to come in from the rear. There it is. Back to 2 minutes. It's a full reset. He catches... What? Wait, no. What? But... Dumb ways to die. Blue 4 throws the game by team killing, and then the last guy loses a 2-1 firefight, and that is GG. Op4 get a perfect score, and both commanders tie this week with a 1-1 perfect win. This one being much closer, but my God, that was something. Game ends, it's already over. All right, guys, we'll be back maybe later, but that was something. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Remember, when you are given a billboard to show you what the friendlies and the enemies look like, take note. Don't shoot your friend in the back and throw the game. Otherwise, cheers, guys. Have a good one, and go operate operationally. Let's see who the top scorers were. Orin going back on first with 4 kills instead of 6. Nemesis with 4, and Settler on 3. Again, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.